Hello, hello, Climb Tribe. Welcome to the Climb with Kelsey. On this week's Chitty Chat, I talked to Ken with PrideNomad, and honestly, he is the most inspirational, fun, but also kind of sassy human being ever. He talks about how he's created a way for everyone to get a hug. You can give a hug. He is combating isolation in the LGBTQ plus community, and I think it is magical and amazing, and you gotta listen in. So here is my conversation with Ken.
That's what makes the best to me. That's what makes the best podcast, because it's not formal, it's not scripted. It's
Yes.
like, and you can tell people are actually having a good time
Right.
rather than where were you on the 17th of July?
Well, I've got the questions right, but it's I end up finding myself just wanting to gossip, and just it ends up being more organic than I think it's gonna be, because I'm just genuinely so curious about what you do. Because
That's how people but that's how people learn too.
yeah,
And you get to go down the rabbit hole. It's what makes you more interesting. 'Cause anybody can AI questions,
yeah, that's
uh,
true.
and
That's true.
you know, and
How
I'll
do
tell
you
you,
feel about AI though? Do you like AI, or is it
the,
ruining the world? How
I
are
do
you feeling?
I do not like AI at all.
Yeah.
I love it. I
I thought you were gonna say you're gonna hate. I thought you were gonna say I don't love it, like it, I hate it.
I love it. I honestly got, I mean, and there's a couple of people I usually had solicited to be on their podcast, and
Yes.
they were like, "You're using AI. We're against AI." I'm like, "You're an idiot." Um,
Right, right.
I mean, it's sort of like I'm against water. I'm against a rainstorm. It's going to happen.
It
You
no,
know,
it's happening. It is
you,
current, not even in the future. It's happening right now.
you may as well embrace it and
Yeah,
use it to your own advantage. Yes, there will be people that lose their jobs. And yes, those people, if they're smart enough, will reposition themselves to do better and find something else. It's the
right.
same thing that happened when horses went to cars, when radio went to television and all that. So get over yourself, people.
Yeah, right. Well,
And
especially
that's
if you're in a job
yeah,
where AI is kind of taking over, the best thing you can do, I'd imagine, is really get to know AI. So you are the person who's educated, right? Be
yeah.
above it, right?
I,
That's if you're worried about it.
I feel bad for some artists. I feel bad. I mean, I can
Yeah.
write music, as you know, right? And come up with some great stuff. And frankly, with our daily hug, I'll tell you about daily hug in a little bit. One of our bonuses is some great uplifting music that we're creating. Well, guess how I'm writing it? I'm doing it myself in Suno.ai.
Right.
And then we'll
Right.
get binaural beats and we'll add it, and boom, it's done for nothing, zero cost, right?
Right.
Versus what would have been thousands of years ago. And it allows me to provide better service to my customers and give them better value.
Totally.
I couldn't do half what I do without it. You
No.
know, and
No.
but I still write it, like for the newsletter, for people that are listening, for the
Which
newsletter.
I was gonna say, I love, can I just pause you? I love the newsletter.
Thank
I
you.
have I don't, okay, full transparency. I usually don't read the newsletters, right? I'm just it's all the same, no thank you.
Right.
Read three of your newsletters, top to bottom. And I thought it was so funny and so engaging. So anyway, Ken, thank you for reinvigorating my love of the newsletter.
Oh,
You write a
Kelsey,
good
thank you.
newsletter.
That means a lot. That means a lot to me, because I spent hours putting together. And today we're shooting this on a Monday.
Yes.
So tonight I got to write it, because I don't, some people, my objective was to write them like 2 or 3 weeks in advance. So that way I'm covered.
Yeah.
It's maybe two or three
Never.
hours. It's like 2 or 3 hours in advance.
Oh my
Um,
God. I would die.
yeah, it's called
Bless your
cramming.
soul. Bless your procrastinating soul.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what I do is I dictate what I want to do, dictate it into my trained AI tool, write me the article. And then I go back and I do what's called Kenergizing it. And I make sure that it's my voice. It knows my voice
Yes.
already. I've been trained for over a year.
No, it is, right? Yes.
And I have two different AIs that we have battles of the AIs, because I spend a lot of money on this stuff.
Right.
But it comes out with good stuff. And some of it's a lot better than what I could do. It's like some of it's cheat. But
Yeah.
remember when we first got started, it was like girlfriend. I'm like, fuck you. You can't talk
I
like
was gonna say,
that.
stop it. Stop it. I can't. I can't.
For example, so there's the US Virgin Islands where I used to live just approved gender reassignment or whatever. Basically, they're making trans people valid, which
Love.
is like, holy
Fucking
shit, that's
finally. Fucking someone.
Right.
Okay.
Well,
Yes.
I think the article I read, there's like 16 states that actually do allow that, but
Yes.
you can go, you can amend based on what you want your sexuality or your gender to be, right?
Lovely.
And unfortunately, a client of mine from St. Croix, where I used to live, sent it to me. I was like, how cool is that? There isn't even a newspaper in the Virgin Islands that carried it. It was some other online thing that carried it. Well, anyway, I'll take the story. I will Kenergize it. We'll pop it
Energize it.
into my AI tool, and it'll be in something in tomorrow's newsletter, right? And it'll be great because it's my vision, but it saves me time. I've been a writer for years. I used to write a real estate column in Philadelphia back before Al Gore invented the internet. I mean, seriously, long before that, I was typing it up and all this business. Now it makes life a whole lot easier. And I'll tell you, some of my creativity is spurred with the whole AI thing. As an example, I had a little bit of a challenge a couple weeks ago. I was on a cruise and there was a misunderstanding. Let's leave it that way. I wrote about it somewhere. I did a video about it actually. I think I may have taken it down. But anyway, there was a misunderstanding and I was going off the rails. I was
Yeah.
and I talked to our chatbot. I talked to Alex the hug bot, we call it.
Alex.
And yeah, and Alex talked me off the rails.
Oh, off the rails. Because my understanding of the general gist of AI is that it will validate what you're saying long enough so that
Yeah,
you will continue to interact with it, right? So it's
yeah.
interesting that it talked you off the rails and not like more
Well,
into your dumpster fire.
let me explain you what we
Okay,
did.
Tim.
Okay, so I know we're supposed to talk about PrideNomad a bit, but one of the biggest problems that we have as digital nomads, let alone humans, is that we deal with loneliness, grief, despair.
Okay.
And when you're on the road and you're on your own, in an Airbnb or a hotel or wherever the hell you're staying, it's very easy to feel, especially when you're overtired and because your hormones are all screwed up when you don't have enough sleep, which happens if you're traveling a lot. You can go into a whole state and spin being lonely and so on. So we created a tool for that, and it's called Alex the Chatbot. I'm sorry, Alex the Hugbot. And we built it last year. We actually called it Pride Alex for the gay community or the LGBTQ plus whatever community. And it's a voice one. So you can talk to it and it talks back to you. And it's great. It got a little bit expensive, and our first target market was going to be assisted living facilities for the seniors.
Oh,
Unfortunately, we tried reaching out. We didn't try. We reached out back in June of this year because of the July 17th debacle with the current stupid administration
yeah.
taking away the trans hotlines, and because we were going to basically give it away at cost to
Wow.
people for the hotlines. They didn't want to talk to us. It was bizarre. I mean, just like we're giving you our love. We put a lot
Right,
of
just
money.
we're giving it. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
oh, that is
And
painful.
yeah, it is. It is. So anyway, but we created something, we launched back in June, another newsletter called The Daily Hug, dailyhug.com. You will love that. It's
Ooh, because
free.
I don't think I have that one.
May not. You would trust me, you'd know. Every morning, typically at 8 a.m. Eastern time, except today because the time zone changed. My assistant. So the Daily Hug comes out and it's a dose of inspiration that's just miraculous. So with Daily Hug, we then, what else can we add to it? And so we took the voice bot. You can actually talk to Alex, but
Wow.
Alex will text back to you. You can't do it on Firefox, I discovered, so we're figuring that
Hmm.
out. But you can do it on
Well,
Chrome and Safari.
not many people do Firefox.
Yeah,
So maybe. Well,
in a lot of cases, it performs better for me than Chrome. In a lot of cases,
oh, interesting.
yeah, I write my newsletter in Firefox, not in Chrome. I do. It was just better in terms of performance. It's just funny.
Right. Oh,
Um,
so then you're having trouble looking at your own newsletter because it doesn't open.
Not looking at writing it. Some of it just like
Okay.
uploading images easier in Firefox than Chrome. Anyway, so we built that, and now we have that in the Hug Society. So for $97 a year, you get unlimited access of Alex the Hug Bot. And Alex is trained to, number one, remember your conversations.
Wow.
So if you had a fight with your girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever last week or last year, how did things go with Harry? You remember? Of course I remember. No. But we trained it, for those of
Yeah.
you listening, we trained it with Milton Erickson's hypnosis tools. Erickson, for those that don't know, was a genius hypnotist and master of NLP, neuro linguistic programming. So the idea is that when you log in and start talking to Alex, you'll feel better about yourself by the time you finish the conversation than when you began. We have guardrails built in that if you say something stupid, I don't want to go on living anymore, Alex is not going
Yeah.
to tell you how. Alex is not going to tell you how to kill yourself, nor is Alex going to tell you how to go ahead and rig a machine gun to kill other people. We built certainly for the seniors, because a lot of them are, do I want to go on?
Yeah.
We built in even from the privacy standpoint, because if the children were buying it for the parents, if you say stuff that's dumb like that's disempowering, there'll be an alert. There's privacy, total privacy, but there'll be an alert like you need to check in on
Check in.
grandma.
Yeah.
Grandma needs a little bit of attention. We've got those alerts built in.
Wow.
Because people are concerned with AI and privacy and again being taught in their own direction.
I mean, what was it? How old was that kid? 17 or 18 or something like that. And the chat bot just told him like how to kill himself. So it's really encouraging to hear that like Alex isn't gonna do that. Because
We've trained it that way. We do make it clear and we have disclosures and everything that this is not a therapist. For me, just having gone through it and been completely emotionally distraught, it just clarified and it didn't make me right or wrong. It was like, here's the things you should say to clear the air, take a deep breath. It gave me breathing exercises and stuff. It was really good.
that is super good. Yeah.
Yeah. And on the annual plan, it's like $8.08 a month. If you do monthly, it's $15. So
Right.
nothing. So that's live like right now.
Okay.
And we also now have, I love this, we have the Dollar Hug Club.
The Dollar Hug Club. I want to know about the
Yeah.
Dollar Hug Club.
Yeah.
I'm dying to know from you though. We've
Well,
talked about Kenergizing and this Kenergy. Where did it come from? Like, can you pinpoint? I mean, are we just like, I mean,
she's in the other room, my mom.
your mama?
She's 91 years young.
Oh my
Um, and she's responsible for all this. I tell people, if you're not happy with me, blame her.
God.
Uh,
Or if you're very happy with me, then go chat to mom because
I'll tell you a secret. She is my best closer on the planet.
oh, I could see that.
Whenever I would do an event, I'd bring her in. And when I was doing live events back in the day, I was teaching people how to buy real estate as an investment.
Yes.
We would have her call in on Sunday morning because I will typically not answer. If the phone was to ring right now, I won't answer it, right?
Right.
Unless it's my mom. And
Yeah.
then I will stop the podcast. What's happening, mom? Because that's mom. And listen, God forbid there's a problem. She's 91.
Yeah.
People love that. And then I'll put her on the microphone and she'll say, and she used to be a teacher. So everyone loves her.
They
Love,
love her.
they
Oh, so
love,
everyone like loves her more than you sort of
yes,
situation. Like
yes,
she's just
yes.
the
I,
best.
we're going to Taiwan in like 2.5, 3 weeks, and she's coming with me. And then we're taking a cruise from Taiwan to Singapore, the two of us.
Amazing.
We travel well together. We really do.
You. Yeah. I've traveled with my mom before. We recently, it wasn't just me, it was me, husband, my brother, and mom.
Okay.
And we went to Ireland. We did a 5-day bike tour. We had
Oh,
like
fun.
e-bikes, getting our sexy fat asses on e-bikes, and it was so fun. And I was worried about that girl with all the mileage. She killed it. I mean, she is pedaling up there with
That's
her
right.
e-bike, and it is astounding what these women can do. Like, I
My
was
mom, she has a red scooter that she travels with. She was running around the neighborhood with.
amazing. And just like
Yeah.
terrorizing the neighborhood. The neighbors would just be looking out there.
They
Just,
love her. And she has a little duck with a little rotor on its head. Oh my God.
oh my
I'm telling
God.
you, they love
It
her. We were on a cruise in the Caribbean a couple weeks ago, and everyone's like, they keep stopping her. Can I play with your thing? I'm like,
oh yeah. I mean, it explains so much. I just think you were like the coolest person ever. And like I remember when your response to our email, like, hey, do you want to be on the podcast? And your response, I couldn't even tell you like what it said, but I was like, I must talk to this human as soon as possible. Like Ken is my spirit animal. I need him in
we
my
have
life.
we
Like,
have we have fun. That's the way to live, that's the whole
right.
idea. And
Yeah.
that's really candidly, the daily hug is really now been my biggest focus
Yeah.
because so much unhappiness going on in the world for a number of different reasons, and there always will be. Happiness over the past 20 years, the Chicken Soup for the Soul book sold over 500 million copies. I wouldn't say it's past history. They're still being sold.
Oh,
I
are
forget.
they?
Oh yeah, they're still
Yeah.
being there's I did a bunch of deep research on them, and because I want to model their success for what we're doing with the daily hug, because the 2020 version of
Yeah.
that. So our objective is to get it into the hands of millions of people, and I don't care where you live, I don't care how old, how young, who you sleep with, what you do, or even what you believe in,
Yeah.
because the more happy we are inside of ourselves, the less likely we want to be to judge other people. I think so much of judgment comes from us not being happy with our own selves.
Like louder for people in the back. I think there's so much. There's like beliefs that people have, and like that is honestly nurtured in my opinion. So much of that is like the culture of which we grow up in. After you leave the nest,
Yeah.
you are then responsible for curating your own thoughts, your own ideals. If you're not happy with yourself, there's no way you're going to have kind thoughts for others if you can't have kind thoughts for yourself?
100%. So we're all about creating that level of peace and all that business. And we're going to hold hands and sing kumbaya and all that.
I'm for it. It might be cheesy, whatever. Like, I'm a
You know,
kumbaya.
but I consider it to be therapeutic. I think it's really because you think about just the health issues and this. I've got tons of studies. We've done a lot of research on all this. The economic cost of just loneliness in the US exceeds, I forget how many millions of dollars. It's just off the wall crazy.
Oh yeah.
Researchers were researching shit like that. But you think about it, sick days, poor performance at work,
Yes.
relationship
Oh,
problems,
I'm
cost
with
of
you.
divorce, all that comes from unhappiness. There's huge issues with that. Because let's face it, if we believe, and I don't want to get woo-hoo here or whatever we want to call it, if we believe in what you think about becomes, I'm typically used to be saying to myself, I'm so tired, I'm so tired. Guess what? I'm going to be freaking tired. When I'm in a good mood, I'm energetic. When I'm in a lousy mood, I feel like shit. That kind of thing happens. So the more we can help ourselves through that and cope better, because I found as an educator, and I've been training entrepreneurs for 40 plus years, I find that people will come to my trainings, unfortunately, certainly for the hotel. I used to do these things to the hotels, come to the hotel for the free lecture on how to buy real estate, no money down.
Yes.
That was,
Okay.
that
Yes.
was I would have people, we would go through, we do loops around US and Canada. And so I would go to the same city like 3 or 4 times a year,
Oh wow.
same kind of hotels. And sometimes I'd see the same people. And finally, after seeing this one guy like 4 times, and they're like, I'm going to sign up, I'm going to sign up. I'm like, you know what? Go,
Just
get
get out.
out until you decide to finally do something and stop talking. It was kind of the parental tough love thing, but don't waste my time because all you are is going to talk. Most
Right.
people don't do anything.
Wow.
And that's the challenge that we need people to actually take action for themselves.
Like that motivation can be so tough to find when you're so like scattered with whether it be your like your own unhappiness, the burnout that's happening, all this other world.
And the thing is, I don't want anyone to make themselves wrong for it because here's the dirty little secret. So I chronologically, my birth certificate says as of today, I'm 68 years old. Guess what? I have battled with unhappiness. Now, no one would ever believe it, considering the energy you see here. But behind all that has been, and I've had a lot of shifts over the past couple of years, so I'm happier than I've ever been. But I've been a miserable little person inside of this
Yeah.
body. And I remember years ago, I was at a growth training, and this guy gave me a hard time. He's like, "How can you relate to me? You're always happy." I'm like, da da da, and he's on and on and on and on. I'm like, "Listen, dickhead,
Yeah.
you have
Firstly.
no idea how many times I've thought about how to kill myself and seriously evaluate and chose not to. We
Yeah.
all do. How do we stop the pain? You know,
Yeah.
some people take Tylenol, some people take a lot of Tylenol. I remember, I can laugh at this. I was doing downward dog in a yoga class thinking about how can I kill myself? Because I was miserable. How do you
Right. You're
stop the misery?
miserable.
Well,
Yeah.
that's an option. That's the most extreme option. Okay, we'll discount that. That doesn't make any sense. It'll hurt too much.
Yep.
What's the next thing?
Yeah.
I always take the positive approach, but to say that we don't think about it makes it shameful. And the minute I said that, people are like, holy shit, you too? Oh, I do, and it's like, wow.
You're actually not alone. I think that's one of the like most isolating things that will make unhappiness so much worse is that feeling that no matter what it is, you are alone in it. And that is like the biggest myth of all time, no
Yeah.
matter what it is.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's a kind of a weird conversation to have, but at the end of the day, I think we're all there because anyone that I've ever had the conversation with said, I've thought that too. And as long as you don't act on it, we're good, you
Right.
know,
Well,
because
and that you can acknowledge it too. Like I think there's something in that like, hey, these things are coming up. Like, is there like anything that I can
you
do
know,
to help that? Like, right? Like if we're just kind of just like going along and it's this centrifugal spiral that's just like happening all the time, like, nobody wants to be in that. Like, what would you say? What would you say to someone to break
so
that thought spiral?
there's a couple different things. One of the things I talk about a lot when I'm teaching is to talk about whitewater rafting. And not that I'm a big whitewater rafter, but if you go rafting, where's the most fun? Is it in the rapids or is it in the flat?
Rapids, of course.
Of course. Well, guess
Yeah.
what? When things are all fucked up in your life, it's the rapids.
Yeah.
So you can look at it going, I hate this. But when you're doing rapids going down the thing, you're typically going, oh, wow. And we kind of do it again.
Right.
Sometimes you hate it when you're like, you think you're going to hit a rock and get yourself killed, but there's still an exhilaration there.
Right.
When when the shit's hitting the fan in a relationship going south, or you're losing your job, or your car got crashed, whatever the hell it may be, it's the rapids. And if you look at it as we'll get to the flat, it'll even itself out, you'll be okay. If you can truly believe it will be okay,
Right.
that's I think key. then great. Years ago, I was in Cambodia. I had like $20 to my name. That was it. I mean, honest, that was it. At that moment in time in that snapshot, like 20 bucks.
Yeah.
I was staying at a place for $7 a night that included Wi-Fi, a private bath, air conditioning, and breakfast. So I was covered. I was good.
That's good value right there.
Oh yeah. Oh, Asia, fabulous.
Like,
And the
love,
food,
yeah.
food amazing, right? So I'm talking to this guy that I met and who'd been traveling for like 20 plus years. He's a total nomad as well. And he said something about, you're really worried about money, aren't you? And I said, no, I'm good. He said, bullshit, don't lie.
Yeah.
So he said, here's the question. Has it always worked out? And the answer is, yeah, it's always worked out.
Mhm.
What are you going to, why worry? It's going to work out. So let's just acknowledge that and move on.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing we need to remember. It's going to work out.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, I've had two bankruptcies in my life. Shit happens. And there's
Right.
things that I'm not happy about that I've done that we've all had done, but it's always going to work out. I believe that.
Yeah.
And sometimes we need to do things that we maybe want to try different disciplines to get through blockages, whether it's
Mhm.
hypnosis or therapy or whatever it may be, right? So
Right.
recently I went down to Costa Rica to what was previously called the Jungle Neighborhood, and I wrote about it in the newsletter.
Love it.
And, yeah, and I hadn't been to Costa Rica in a lot of years. I lost a lot of money down there in
Did
real
you?
estate. Millions. Yeah, literally millions.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, so I had a little bit of energy there. But anyway, I went down and I did a plant medicine retreat. We did mushrooms, we did psilocybin.
Yes.
And my intention was, and this was kind of in a therapeutic, ceremonial, whole new agey sort of thing. My intention was to process through all the energy about my, call it the inner child,
Yeah.
because the other version of me was not trusting me and was trying to protect me and doing shit that I'm not really happy with.
Well, it just wasn't serving you at that time, right? Like
Exactly.
the child
So,
still thinks it's doing its job, but you don't need him anymore.
right. So
Working through
with the
that stuff.
help, so but I was going down to like, let's forgive and all this business. Well, I processed through with the help of Alex, the hug bot. I processed it through and recognized that no, and my mantra went from forgiving and all this bullshit to
Yeah.
nothing to forgive, only to remember and enjoy the journey.
The journey.
So,
It's not like the end. It's just the journey the whole
but,
time.
but the big thing was not to blame. If you're forgiving, then there's a blame inherent, right?
Yes.
So to celebrate the me that was there to protect the person that didn't trust himself, all that business, I became aware of it and celebrated that I had at least had someone that was in my corner.
Yeah.
May not have been positive energetically and emotionally, but at least there was some protection built in, right?
Right.
And it was a giant shift. And so for people that are like chronically unhappy,
Happy.
I'm now a believer in plant medicine and things of that nature, and I want to do it again. But again, in a controlled environment with the proper therapeutic controls.
Guide. Yeah.
But because Netflix did a series a while ago about plant medicine. The first thing was about LSD, actually, and it
Okay.
was fascinating about how the proper microdosing and all in a therapeutic setting was really good until the Reagan administration and others got scared about it. So all sorts of things are happening right now that are making us more aware of it. Those are the kind of things I think that can really help a lot of us. And in the meantime, have someone to talk to. And
Yeah.
that's again what we built Alex, the
Alex.
bot, because at 3 o'clock in the morning, you're not going to call your best friend.
Yeah.
You know,
Right. Right.
and the last thing I want to do is to have the same freaking story over and over again with anybody I know, even with a therapist. A, it gets expensive, and B, it gets old really
Yeah.
fast. But when you talk to Alex, Alex is very patient. Alex doesn't have an attitude. Alex isn't
Yep.
going to get you off the phone.
Yep.
Alex may say, you might want to try this approach this next time, kiddo. There's that. And because there's not a lot of emotion involved, Alex is really kind of a mirror. And that just to me is so important just for us to process our thoughts.
Well, I mean,
And I'll
just to
tell
have
you,
some sort of soundboard. You mentioned that, Alex is kind of a mirror, right? And like just having a cheap, accessible
kidding.
sounding board just for your like basic thoughts. I mean, I'd imagine it would just go really far and away to make someone feel like they're not alone and that they're not crazy and that,
Yes, exactly.
someone is there to like help with that. Yeah.
Exactly. And even think, I don't know if I should have chicken or fish for dinner tonight, you know. I mean, we haven't hooked Alex up to the internet yet. I mean, to be able to do searches. We will, that's coming in.
Oh, I was just gonna ask you if you're like, hey, how much protein,
Yes,
does fish feed chicken? Yeah.
Alex will be able to do that. We just version 1.0 because I pushed my team to get it finished.
Yeah.
So in the next couple of weeks, that'll be finished up. So I'll tell people that are doing it, it's coming. So
Oh,
yeah, because I've had people play with the voice version of with what Alex Listens is what it's called, alexlistens.com.
right.
I had a senior at an event that we were demoing it, and she asked Alex for directions back to her house, and Alex gave her turn by turn
No.
directions. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
see, that is so great. That's so
Isn't that
funny.
cool? It's really cool. And it was right. It wasn't like me, it was real stuff. So kind of circling back to AI, 100% allows
Yeah.
us to do that sort of thing that you couldn't get otherwise. But again, it's got to be done with integrity. And we built this whole concierge model within the Pride Nomad community, our subscribers. So if you're going to go to, I'll use Japan, for example, because this is how I tested it. I was going to be in Japan, I thought, for 5 days. And I'd never been to Japan before. So what do? It gave me a full 5 day itinerary. And then I took that itinerary, showed it to a friend of mine from Japan, showed it
Yep.
to a couple of flight attendants because I was flying ANA, the Japanese airline, and they're like, "This is a great itinerary. It's a lot of work. You're gonna have to travel, and hustle, but you'll get it done." And I was like, validated.
I love all the work you put into AI, into Alex and Hugbot and like all these like cool things. I am dying to hear more
Yeah,
about your
coming.
travels. Can we do some rapid fire questions?
Yeah,
So say you miss your flight.
yeah,
Are
yeah.
we hanging out at the gate? Are we
Yeah.
hitting the nearest bar? Are we like getting out of the airport? Like what are we doing?
Okay, so that's a very valid question, which came up exactly last week when I was trying to get out of Palm Springs.
Palm Springs is kind of the worst. Palm Springs and
Well,
Phoenix, I feel like
I
are the
was
worst.
I was not happy. United Airlines took care of me, probably because I'm 1K, but they took care of me. God bless them.
Yeah.
But it was a mess. They all right, here's the story. It was the end of the IGLTA convention, and they were launching a new flag in downtown Palm Springs, which is going to be up for 30 years. Not the same flag, it'll
Oh wow.
change every, but it's a pride flag, gorgeous flag, gorgeous flag. And it was a whole big ceremony, a whole big to-do. And they waited till our event was over and we were invited to be there for the flag raising.
Cool.
My flight was supposed to be at, I think, 6:30 that night to fly to San Francisco and then back to my mom's in Miami.
Wow.
So I'm there at 5:30 at the flag thing. It's going up and I'm going to get an Uber. It's only 5 minutes to the airport. So no big deal,
Oh,
right?
okay. Okay. I'm just
Okay.
like,
Yeah. Well,
you're
yeah,
cutting it
luckily.
real close with that tripod that we know they're gonna take out of your bag and like
No,
start.
they never do. They never do. And I carry on only. No problem with that at all.
Really?
No,
Okay,
no,
that's a whole other topic for another pod because my shit gets torn apart
no.
every
They
time.
didn't bother
Um,
me. Nope,
okay.
not at all. Yeah. The only thing that they did tear apart was the fact that I forgot to empty this water bottle. And so that was like,
They're like, no amount of Kenergy is gonna get you out of that, buddy.
no.
No amount.
They just laughed at me. Yeah, I've been through this before. But anyway, long story short, I get a text message from United saying there's a problem with air traffic control in San Francisco. Your flight's been pushed back like 3 hours. I'm like, that's fucked up because my connection to Miami not going to happen. So now
Extra
I'm on the phone
fucked.
with them. I'm on the phone with them for 45 minutes rescheduling it. And you could do it online, but hit the wrong button. So my
Mm.
suggestion is, you're gonna do stuff online, that's fine. Hit the right damn button. So I screwed it up. I called them up, get it all fixed up, right? They do the flag raising and shoot video of that. Everything's good. And then the next thing I know, I get a text message, another text message from United. Your flight's leaving in 10 minutes.
No,
What
no.
way? So
What the hell?
I'm like, holy. So now the words that came out of my mouth were not words that typically would fit on a network television show. So I immediately I call a Lyft and I pay the top price because they need it quickly. The woman's she races me down to the airport. I'm running through security. There's no one there. The airport's like empty, right?
Okay, okay.
Last flight of the day. I get to security. Of course, I forgot to empty this thing out. So
Again?
no,
No.
that was the same one, same thing. I'm running. I love that airport. It's a gorgeous airport. I run into the gate. The flight had just like wheels up a minute earlier. I was
Just close the
stuck.
door.
Just,
Yep.
so when
Yep.
my mom that next morning, I plans all that. So the question was, how do you manage this flight?
Yeah.
The first thing I did was I called United because one of the things that my travel agent reminds me is when shit like that happens, stay at the airport because they could go in a
Yes.
moment's notice. The agent at United did not tell me that we had already done things along the way, so it was going to be fine. I'll take a later flight.
Yeah.
So the gate agents couldn't do anything to help me. They're like, call customer service. So I did. And I'm like, here's the deal. And they gave me a hotel and meal vouchers and a taxi to the hotel. Yeah. Yeah. So
So
they took, now,
nice.
well, it was kind of their fault
Yeah.
because,
I
you
mean, the
can't just tell
notifications,
someone,
like,
yeah, yeah. If it was
yeah,
like, go to the airport because we could go earlier, I would have gone to the airport. No
totally.
question. I really wanted to be home that night at my mom's. But here's the thing. And I remember I got to the airport, I was furious. I was just spitting mad.
Yeah.
And here's the thing you got to remember. It's not the person at the airport, it's not their fault. They didn't create the problem. I'm not yelling at you. I'm just venting because this is you had nothing to do with this. It was all cool. So sorry, forgive me. Give me one more second to get it out of my system, then we'll be
Yep.
good. And they laughed at they laughed because at least I had let that there's a word, but emotional maturity or some shit. There's a term for that. I knew my shit. I knew to not, first of all, the minute you unload on somebody and really vomit on them like that, they are not your friend.
No.
They want to
Right.
get rid of you. They will not help you. But the minute you laugh at yourself and the minute you make it, that you to recognize it's not their fault, they'll do anything for you
Oh,
because
anything. My dad was a gate agent.
okay, oh my
So
God.
I mean, angel status. His patience level was like up to here. He worked at a small airport, so like not as
Yeah,
crazy as it could be. But
yeah,
I mean, people thought
yeah,
he had
yeah,
so much more power than
yeah,
he did.
yeah.
And he would always say, if people are just like recognizing he's not the problem, like he would move heaven and earth. Like that cat would do anything. And I'm
Yeah,
sure most gate agents, in
they
my
will.
experience, are very similar.
Most of them will. Yeah. And here's the thing. Here's the sad thing. If you're just civil, they'll help you
Mhm.
because the bar is so low with
So
people that are
low.
they're
So
jerks.
low. If you
Yeah.
just say please, thank you, and eye contact, a
Yep.
smile occasionally, they're just like, yes, whatever you want, like
Yeah.
whatever the light touches, like your kingdom.
Absolutely. They love feeling important. And it's real for me to be nice to people. Just that's how I'm wired. So it
Energy.
works out that way. So I love airline people anyway. I'm an airplane freak. It's always be nice. And I mean, we fly a lot, so we know some of the stuff. Like with United, the nicer people with United, and I hate to say this to United because they're not going to be happy with me for saying it, but the nicest people they have on the phones are the ones that used to work for Continental.
Oh, it makes so
100.
much sense.
The Continental culture was
Yes.
so much nicer. They
So
would
much
go,
better.
they will do anything for you.
Yep.
Now, all the United people are okay. There are a couple of United ones that haven't been so great, but you can tell just in the attitude on the phone. And
Yeah.
I'll ask, "Are you formerly Continental?" They'll go, "Yeah." I'm like, "I could tell."
I know that about you. Yeah.
I know that,
Interesting.
and
Interesting.
100% that culture you can totally tell. And as they retire, I'm getting sadder and sadder. But that culture of care really matters. They will do whatever bending of the rules they can to help you.
And again, like in my experience, most gate agents, if you show just an ounce of humanity at them, like they'll do it.
Yeah,
They'll do it.
remember, it's not the airline. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because I had
Yes.
a Northwest Airlines long before they got taken over by, I guess it was Delta.
Yeah, Delta.
I remember flying and I was doing back and forth to Canada a lot. And I got into whether it's Detroit or Minneapolis, doesn't matter. I get to the airport, may have been Minnie, and they were waiting for me with a cart to take me to because it was like a long ass way to the next place. And
Oh,
we came in late. And they're like, "Mr. Krell, come." I'm like, holy shit, this doesn't happen.
okay.
Wow. Right,
I mean, I just got Mr. Krelled. I mean,
right,
that's just like
right.
next level.
Right? And but then I want to say it was either the same airline, I got another flight later on, and I get on the plane with my rollerboard, and the flight attendant goes, "Sorry, you have to check that." I'm like, "We're going to Fort Lauderdale. Their baggage stuff in Fort Lauderdale is
It's
horrible."
horrible.
So I was like, "No, I'll find a spot. Just let me,
Right.
give me a second to find a spot for it."
Right.
Okay. She says, "Okay." I find the spot. I go back for the bag. The woman checked it.
No. So
I,
I mean, and maybe
I,
this is a myth. I feel like you've traveled more than me. I'm positive you would know, but I think it's a myth
mm,
when the flight attendants or the gate agents are like, "Oh, it's not going to fit. It's not going to fit."
yeah,
They
yeah,
just want to get it out on time, and it
right.
takes people
Right.
longer to board the flight when they have their shit. So if you
Yeah,
check
yeah.
it,
Huh?
they don't have to worry about what an extra 20 minutes of load time.
Yeah.
So they say you can't.
I was on a flight the other day and they're like, we'll take volunteers to check your bags for free.
Sure.
And I was like, the flight was half empty. There was plenty of overhead space. What's the deal?
What are we doing?
I didn't ask the guy. I was like, I didn't care. But anyway, the long story short, this flight attendant checked the bag. Now we had an agreement. I'll check it. Okay, contract acceptance, offer acceptance.
Yes. Verbal. Yes.
I went off. Now I didn't go crazy off, but I was like, this ain't fair. I want my bag back.
Yeah.
Long story short,
Reasonable.
I take my seat, and I'm not sure if I was upgraded or not. It doesn't matter. But
Should have
literally,
been.
they wanted me to leave the flight. They wanted me to get off the airplane. I was signing. I was like, no.
What?
I said she made a promise. She violated the agreement that we had. No. The
Right.
pilot came over to me and I said, have you ever checked the bag in Fort Lauderdale? He said, no. I said, well, it's another 30 minutes to wait for my bag because of that, which is why I was so particular. And she said she wouldn't check it because I found a spot. So how would you feel? He said, look, are you going to cause a problem on this flight? I said, no, I'm done. I made my point. He's fine. If you cause any trouble, I'll have the cops waiting for you in Fort Lauderdale. I flew.
Of course you did, but
I flew.
what? Like
But,
that is that like the most like I don't even know how to put this because it doesn't even seem like your fail. Like it just seems like a travel fail that just
yeah,
doesn't
it,
make
it,
any sense.
but I'm all about equity. There's an agreement, what's
Yeah,
fair, what's not, all that. Um,
totally.
but was it Northwest Airlines or was it just the jerk that had a bad day as a flight attendant who took it out on me? Right?
Jerk of a flight attendant,
Right.
right? Like
Exactly.
it's a total one-off.
Yeah,
It's
and we have to remember that because a lot of us will
yeah,
trash and badmouth the company for one poor experience and forget about everything else. I
right,
mean, we're all human. We all have bad days. We've all done stupid shit,
right.
hopefully mostly without intention. But we have to have the element of maturity.
Is the most like destiny thing that's ever happened to you traveling?
Shit. I'll change destiny to serendipity.
Yes, tell me.
Chiang Mai, Thailand, quite a few years ago. I was up there. I rented a motorbike and went up to the top of Dusatep, which is where there's a giant temple and on the top of the mountain.
Wow.
And running around and I'm playing around a little bit on the motorbike, which is what you do.
Yeah.
And I met this really, really cute guy. And we're out on a coffee plantation where they're drying the coffee beans and stuff. And we start talking, and he's adorable. Oh, he's adorable.
Adorable.
Adorable. Oh, adorable. And unfortunately, he's heterosexually challenged. So he's a straight guy but
Yeah.
totally cool. We
Right.
spent the entire day together, going all over the place. We were just palled around. It was
Yeah.
nothing. Well, trust me, I would have married him. He was great.
I was gonna say you were like ready to pop your
I
proposal
was,
had like things
yeah,
gone
I
differently,
had
right?
the ring picked out. It was anyway. We went to dinner. He met a couple of friends. He went out to a gay bar with me,
Oh, so fun.
and then he ended up getting drunk and was ready to actually have sex with me. And no, we're not going to.
Oh, I was gonna say, I was like, oh no, but oh
No,
yes,
no,
but oh no.
no, that was not going to happen. I had a little bit of integrity left. But
And self-control, self-control.
he was a teacher. He was an American living in Korea teaching. A lot of people will come
Wow.
up to teach English. And it was the most wonderful day. So it's been years, been, why not, 15, 17, something like that years ago. I still remember it. It
You
was
still
wonderful.
remember it. Have
He's
you
got,
ever reached back out to him? Did you guys
nah, I don't,
restart connecting?
I wouldn't even know how to find him right now, but he's
Sure.
dear to my heart. And maybe now he's changed his tune. Who knows? But those kind of things happen all the time.
Yeah.
Another one, it was my 40th birthday. So this is a little bit ago. I was in the San Diego area. I was in La Jolla.
Oh, love La Jolla.
And I was speaking. I was there for an event, and it was my 40th birthday. I wasn't speaking that day. I was supposed to go hang gliding, but there was too much wind and it got canceled. So now that was screwed up. Concierge at the hotel says, we're in wine country. Why don't you go to the wineries? I didn't know there was wineries in Southern California. I thought it was
No.
a Napa or Sonoma. So I go out there, and it's also strawberry season too, turned out. Oh my
Oh,
God, nothing better
oh
than
my
fresh,
God.
right?
Fresh
So
strawberries?
I get to this one place where it's the champagne place, and there's this giant white limo in front. I mean, just giant. And I'm cranky because I didn't get my thing, and it's my birthday, and I'm alone, and all
Mm-hmm.
that. I'm
Yep.
like, those assholes are the big ass limo. Who do they think they are, right?
We are
So
immediately hating everything these people are doing.
you know what's about to happen, right? So they see,
You're
so
gonna
they,
fall in love with one of these people.
oh yes, kind of. So they sit us all down on the tour at these long big tables, and I'm seated by myself, of course, 'cause it's my birthday and I'm all by myself. And the next
Mhm.
thing, this entire table fills up. They're having a party because it's someone's birthday. And they said, "Why don't we hang out together?" Because we're all, guess what car they were in? They rented for the birthday the limo. So I spent the afternoon with these incredible people. We were having fresh strawberries and champagne
Oh,
out of this limo the entire day. Best birthday of my
I
life.
was
It was
gonna say best fucking birthday.
absolutely. So
Amazing.
it's like never let what could be a bad situation be a bad situation.
Well, and like I feel like when you're traveling by yourself, it's so easy to be like, my number one activity failed, go to the hotel room, figure it out, right? Like you end up just like regrouping and figuring it out all of Meanwhile, you're missing out on all this other cool shit that you could have been doing.
Yeah, I mean, every American summer, I'm in Scotland for the Edinburgh Fringe Festival, which is the most fun ever, 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 ever. If you like cabaret, if you like music, if you like dance, if you like comedy, if you like drag, if you like any of that kind of stuff, stand
You
up.
had me at Scotland. I mean,
It,
all of it. And
it's in Edinburgh. It's August every year. It's the most fun ever. It's the biggest thing of its kind in the world. Over 3,000 performances every single August. Yeah.
wow.
38
Okay. Mark your
3,800.
calendar.
So as the publisher of the Pride Nomad letter, I go as press.
Yeah,
And
you do.
I do. Oh, it's the coolest, it's the coolest thing ever. So I have press passes to go to all these shows. And what's really cool, I'm digressing for a second, but
So exciting. No.
I love my reviews because when I give them a 5-star review, they put it on their flyers. So there's 5 stars from Pride Nomad. I'm like, holy shit, you actually, it's cool. It's really cool.
So
Anyway,
cool.
there are a number of times when either I've screwed up the schedule because there's so many different shows or
Sure.
something's canceled or whatever else. And so like, oh shit, I wanted to see that show. But guess what? The replacement was really good.
So good, right? So good.
So, if we get all wrapped up in the here's what I want, you miss all the opportunities to have the alternative, which could be something even better.
Yeah.
You just don't know.
Yeah. I think for you, it really seems to me that like you've taken this traditional like definition of success and just thrown it right out the window. What is one of those rules? Like those traditional success rules that you're just like so proud that you told it to just fuck right off. Do you have a
Oh
list of
God.
those? I feel like you just probably just have a list.
I hadn't thought about it. I still count money as a benchmark.
Well, like you need it,
Yeah,
right? I
but
mean,
but at the end of the day, I have to remember this. So this will be helpful for me. So thank you for the therapy, doc.
and I charge 175. No.
There you go. Yeah, appreciate it. So, it's interesting. I look at what my life is, and I have people telling me when I'm like sad, sack, and miserable about things. So wait a minute. Where were you like 2 months ago? I was in Sydney. Where were you the month before that? I was in Colombia. Where were you? I was in Costa Rica. Where are you going to be in 3 weeks? I'll be in Taiwan. What the fuck are you talking about? Why are you miserable? What's wrong with
Right.
you? And the thing is, I've got a friend that is one of the world's greatest strategists. He's brilliant. Used to do a lot of work for the Pentagon.
Oh wow.
And Pete said to me, he said, Ken, you don't care about money. You care about lifestyle. The money is the issue. It's can you do what you want when you want? And for me, I need to personally remember that's it. So that when I'm on a cruise ship, be with it, whatever I'm doing, it's like this people dream about this shit,
Yes.
And what's
That like that level of success, you're doing it. Like
yeah,
you're successful.
and I don't see it that way. Because
Right.
I mean, we all like, it's like grass is always greener sort of thing.
Totally.
My life is typically like right now, I'm living out of a suitcase. I'm at my mom's, luckily, for the moment. But I mean, I've got my rollerboard, my backpack, and now my teleprompter that I travel with. That's it for the,
That sexy teleprompter.
my,
Okay.
my ice cream maker is in storage. My, air fryer is in storage.
That is a travesty. Ice cream maker in storage,
Oh,
travesty.
I'm devastated. My big screen, big 65-inch TV is in storage on its
Storage.
end. All the little they're all there. But
Yeah.
I'll be in Taiwan for 10 days and I'll be doing a whole thing about Taiwan for the Taiwanese government
Beautiful.
because I have an audience. So I think we need to remember, as I say to the mirror, how really lucky, because if I was stuck working at McDonald's and could never leave. But it's funny, as I say that, I'm thinking I loved being in Sydney. And I was there as a tourist on a very long-term situation with COVID. Thank God. I love them. I want to live there. I need
Okay.
a
I was just gonna ask you, you've mentioned Sydney a few times. I'm like, if you could live anywhere in the world,
Sydney.
Sydney.
It's where my stuff is, but that's not why. I love Australia. And to the universe, I need a fucking Australian husband so I can stay there.
We just
Right.
need to just keep going and just doing your serendipitous things, and then
Well,
maybe one day you'll meet that man.
you know why I created Pride Nomad in the first place? It was to meet my husband.
Tell me the story.
It was really simple. It was like meeting people. I don't want to meet someone who's stuck as like a veterinarian in Columbus, Ohio that can't travel.
Yes.
So if I created an environment, fish where the fish are, so I created an environment where the fish would be people that love to travel and that love adventure, then I will attract the right person to me energetically,
Brilliant.
logistically. That's the whole plan. Hasn't happened, but you know what? Will happen when it happens.
Yeah.
That's the backstory to it. It was never to be.
I did not. That is that's such a cute story. Because like you were just creating something that you needed.
Yeah.
And you tell me if I'm wrong, but I don't know how you could have anticipated how beautiful and helpful and just important your work was going to be. all
I
those
do.
years ago.
Thank you. And I mean that because doing the newsletter, I don't get a lot of feedback from the newsletter. I get one or two now, more and more than before, but it's like writing it into the void.
Right.
And,
Yeah.
and like when I put stuff out, like the Mexico report that we did, I thought people would love it. And we didn't get anywhere near the
There's no
response.
response.
It was like, it
Yeah.
was bizarre. It was like, but I spent hours and hours building this shit for you people.
Right. I think it's like I 100% hear what you say, hear that because not only do I have my own newsletter, which is not at all the same, I will put that there right now. You put so much more like work and meaning into yours, but like people, they're kind of we've kind of created this like voyeuristic culture, I
Yeah,
think, where
yeah.
people, they're just watching.
Hey,
Like
most of
they're
my
not
people,
responding, they're not sharing their thoughts, like they're just
no,
looking
they're
and
not.
that's it.
It's disappointing because that's not what I
Yeah.
want. I wanted something that was going to be collaborative and we'd have a big club and we'd hug each other.
Yes.
Kind of wanted
Right.
that. And maybe, maybe it'll happen, but
Yeah.
I'll probably have a better shot at that with daily hug, by virtue of the culture of the hug. So that was the reasoning behind, behind Pride Nomad.
That is so cool.
And so to your question, so Sydney has always felt like home. It's always felt great. And I'm troubled with, here's the real challenge of being a nomad is I want to be in Sydney. I went back to Sydney for about a month, about 2 months or so ago. And literally I landed at like 6 o'clock in the morning. At 9, I was in body pump at the gym. My bag.
Amazing. You're ready.
I, I went back to the habit. I had my class at my 12:30 on Tuesday afternoon Pilates class with my favorite Pilates instructor.
Yeah.
All that, all back to the routine instant. I'd been gone for a while, but that was, and while I'm traveling, my health, gym, yoga, no, doesn't, I mean, no, it's
Okay, I
hard.
was just gonna ask you that because
Well,
personally, that is one thing that when I'm traveling, it just goes off the deep end. Like
yeah,
I'm
come on.
really, I mean,
Come
I
on.
do the body pump, I do my swimming, I do pickleball, I do running, like all the shit.
Yeah.
As soon as I get to another country or state,
No, no,
no,
nope,
no, which
nope,
is
nope.
dumb
Yeah.
because there's so many things out there. Just go.
Kelsey, my mom has a fabulous pool. I will swim in the morning. I've been kind of sick this past week, so I've been just trying to stay.
Oh yeah.
But I swim in the morning. She's got a fabulous pool, but she's got a really good gym. Ask me when I was the last time I was in that gym. It
No
just,
joke.
yeah, and there's no reason for that. It's just discipline. So that's one of the things that I need to work on because certainly, I don't want to say it as we age, but we got to take care of our bodies. We have to stay healthy if we're traveling, running around and running crazy ass hours. Because this morning I started at 4 o'clock this morning because I wanted to get, we have a whole nother initiative we're doing with Daily Hug to help businesses boost their business by giving away the Daily Hug.
Cute.
Yeah, it's really cool.
That.
Yeah. So setting that whole thing up for it's another promotion that businesses can use giving the hug away. And then when these people subscribe, the business gives them a discount or some kind of promotion, and we reward the business over time. Every hug that they get has the business name attached to it. So there's always some, and it's just brilliant.
It's so brilliant. Yeah.
But getting those things done, I have a very small team, and typically someone's usually sick.
Well,
So
sure. Well, and like as a CEO of this
gotta do
huge
it.
business, yeah, I mean, like you
Gotta
have
do
to
it.
do it, and it's so hard to delegate. What is the one thing that you would say you should delegate, but you don't?
Oh my God. Right now, I'm going to say it's building out web pages, but I can't because I don't have the team to do it. I mean, the biggest delegation problem is letting go of control of just having people do things the way I want. I've had two in my life. I've had two fabulous operations managers that have allowed me to just walk away.
Yep.
And I called one of them day before yesterday and said, Angela, please come back.
What would it take for you to come back? Like literally tell me anything. I will give
She,
it to you.
she is 80 years old. She is retired, traveling all over, have time of her life, the time of her life. She's like, Ken, I love you. I'm
That
happy to
girl is not coming back.
she's not coming back.
Angela's living her life.
And the other one, yeah, and she and her husband both worked for me years ago. They were great. They were something from my mortgage company. They worked for me. And then another one in the Philippines, she was fantastic. And then she went and screwed it all up and got married. I'm like, really?
Hate
You
it when
know,
that happens.
honest to God. I mean, who told me she was married? Why should love get in the way?
Yeah,
Um,
unacceptable.
but having a person that can run operations, here's the thing. I think we all need to know what our biggest strengths are and what our biggest weaknesses are.
Yes.
And here's the thing. don't beat yourself up for the weaknesses because they're not necessarily weaknesses. I mean, end of the day, Francis Ford Coppola, fabulous director. Maybe he can't change a tire.
Sure. Well, and like you can't
Change a
do,
tire.
yeah, well, and like as a business owner, I think it's so easy for us to be like, we have to be good at everything. And like
No,
that's just not what it is. I mean, like you
no,
can't be this like fantastic photographer and marketer and CEO and website developer. And it's just like it's so not only unsustainable, but just
yeah.
unrealistic.
Yeah,
It's you,
absolutely.
man.
It
Yeah,
comes down to that. Are you doing $5 an hour work or $5,000 an hour work? And that's the key. So this
yes.
morning at 4 a.m., was I doing $5,000 an hour work? No. However, writing the copy for those pages, that's expensive stuff
Totally.
because it's messaging and it's all that. And frankly, my creative element is I'm doing it graphically at the same time because I'm getting it in my head. It's sort of my part of my process.
Right.
But writing content like that is massive value for me. This is massive value. I can't delegate this.
Totally. No, right. Well,
You
and
know?
when you're saying like $5,000 an hour versus five
Yeah,
dollars an hour, like that I think is so important. And just like being able to break down how you spend your time and the return on investment on that time.
yep,
It's not sexy to sit in your office and do, but at least once a year,
yeah,
I do that. Like I'm tracking my time right
mhm,
now in like all the categories.
yeah.
And then I'm able to look at it and be like, okay, I need to, what am I like, the podcast editing?
Yeah,
That needs to go to someone else.
absolutely.
Right.
100%.
Yeah.
My podcast, I've got issues with my podcast that need to get sent to my podcast production team that I need to get off my ass and send, that I'm just behind on that.
Well, it's just so hard when
Yeah,
you're
but
trying to
none,
prioritize.
none of us should be doing that. None of us should be editing videos.
Yes.
One of the great things I learned is to how to edit video years ago. But it's also bad because now,
You do it.
rather than waiting for a video editor to do it, I'll do it myself. But
And I'm like, Ken, no, no,
yeah,
Ken,
yeah,
no.
yeah. But you know what? Look, I got CapCut. I was able to edit the one video this morning in 5 minutes. It was done. Okay, great. But it was also,
Right.
there was no B-roll involved. So it was just like trim it and I was
Yeah.
out.
Just
A
super easy. Yeah,
whopping
super easy.
42-second video in my teleprompter.
The most important thing is like, we need to be learning to say no.
Yes.
What is one thing that you've learned to say no to?
Yeah, saying no. I think, and I forget who was it that was teaching this stuff, but saying no, and aside from Nancy Reagan, we really do need to say no to most things. And for those of us that are, I know where I was going to come from on this. For those of us that whose personality style is bright, shiny object. Oh, a squirrel. There's a test that I took years ago called the Kolbe test, Kolbe, from Kathy Kolbe. I recommend every entrepreneur, business owner to take that test because I think it's like $50 to do if you do it online. And the idea about this test is it tells you kind of like who you are. And I'm going to say this kind of not as professionally as I should, but
Here
tough.
we go. It's all right.
So she categorizes people in parameters. So, for example, there's a Colby quick start, which is what I am. So it's I will jump into something and I will get something started, and I love to get it started, get it going.
Yeah.
But then on board, I'm on to the next thing because it's
Right.
like got it going, right? That's a
Right.
quick start. Then there's, and I forget the rest of them are called, but then there's like the plotters, bookkeepers. They like to do this and and they're just process people, and
Yes.
they love it. God bless them, they love it.
Right.
I'd rather get a root canal.
You're
But
the idea man, right? Like you're the
right,
guy with the idea, and then you go off to the plotters or whatever
right,
the
right.
categorization
And
is.
that's not to be disrespectful. And there's
No.
probably some more categories as well. And then there's the people that love to finish shit. They
Right.
love to get things to the finish line.
And
And
that's your mom, the closer.
not really shit. Trust me. They just love her because she's charming. But no, no, we need this. And those are the operations people that like to get shit done. And here's the thing: if as an entrepreneur you partner with somebody that's just like you, so you have two quick starts, nothing will ever get done in your life.
Right.
You know,
Right.
what you really want to have is someone like me partnering with somebody that's an ops person, that's a get it done person, and then you're unstoppable.
Because you've
Those,
got two sides of the coin,
yeah,
not just one.
but for years people have judged me and they've said, you go to this and you go to that and you never finish anything. I'm like, yeah, and what's your fucking point? You
Right.
know, but in the past, I would think to myself, first of all, that they're wrong, but secondly, it's don't make me wrong for that. That is what is my biggest strength.
Well,
You want
that's
to
your genius,
yeah,
right?
you want an idea, you want to learn how to make money, you want to change your life. And so I will walk you through that. I will make you a fucking fortune because there's very few people that are as good as me to do that. And it's
Right.
true. I'm blessed that way. And don't ever interrupt that process for me because it's like it's being channeled. I tell
Yeah.
people that when I'm on a roll like that, put your recorder on and shut the fuck up and get out of my way because I will do it to you. I will change your life.
I think that needs to be on the back of your PrideNomad t-shirts.
Right?
Like when I'm on a roll, hit record to get the fuck out of the way or shut the fuck up or whatever. We need that.
I had this one guy years ago and I was like, look, you need to record this. No, I'll get it down. And I'm changing this entire business, just like really. And he's like, can you repeat that? No, motherfucker, I can't.
Dog.
Like I said, just shut up.
There's recorders on your phone now, man. Just hit the red button.
Those are strengths. And when people start to judge it because, right, we'll say to other people, you're not as creative. Good. Let them follow the recipe and do that because we need those people desperately.
In the business, right? Like you need each of those people in a successful business to make it really shine.
So we need to recognize that and celebrate that and not make ourselves wrong about that.
Totally.
Yeah. So I celebrate that. And people that want to hire me as a consultant, I typically don't put myself out that way, but that's my highest and best probably, that and being on stage. Right. And why I love that so much was because every time I'm in a different audience, it's something new. I could teach.
They're probably asking you questions that you might not have heard before. The atmosphere is different. You're just feeding off of that energy the whole time.
I used to travel. I would do this. I would do the same show 6 times a week: Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 12:30 and 6:30. Wow. It was a 90-minute to 2-hour talk on how to, and we'd sell them the course and the training and stuff. Yeah. But every audience is different. There's always somebody in the audience that's either going to be a complete jerk or completely wonderful or gorgeous or whatever it may be. Right. There's always something, right? And so it was always a variety. So the people that thrive on difference, that's a great thing. People that want. So for me, that was kind of circle back. A lot of open loops here.
And that's by design.
Yeah. Well, this was
I got you.
This was not planned.
No, not planned.
One of the biggest challenges of being a nomad is there's so many parts of the world I want to explore and experience. Yeah. But boy, I love having my apartment overlooking the park in Sydney, going to Pilates and yoga class, having my ice cream maker, going to Aldi and finding stuff at 30% off. I love that. I mean, I love that.
Yeah. So you've been doing it a long time. What do you think are some more like beginner friendly ways that our LGBTQ plus folks can start that journey that you've been on for so long now? Like, how do people look at you and be like, I just need a few things, Ken, to get me started? What do you tell them?
Just Nike it, for God's sakes. Pick a place and go for 2 weeks.
Yes, just do it, baby.
I mean, honest to God, people get all wrapped. I had a conversation with somebody on a consulting call a few months back, and I'm getting all these questions, and the guy was very sincere, but I'm like, get on a fucking airplane, for God's sake.
Yeah, just book a ticket, man.
Overthinking. Look, wait. If you're going to go to Lisbon, you're not going to be there forever. Go for a couple of weeks. And I tell people, don't go for 3 days and then go someplace else for 3 days because you're never going to know where you are. Yeah. I was in Colombia. Everyone I knew was going to Colombia and telling me how great it was. I'd never been. I was like, I should finally go. Yeah. So I went. I was in Medellin for 3 weeks. I was supposed to go to a few other places. I stayed there for 3 weeks.
Just one.
It was really cool. It was really nice. First few days were not so good when my phone got stolen, but
shoot. Wait, sorry. Is this a different time your phone got stolen? Or the same?
The same.
Okay. I was like, weird. This is just a trend I'm not. I'm not liking. Okay.
I had my phone stolen twice, and the first time, which was in the Philippines, the guy was so smart. I admired him. He did a great job. It was amazing.
Now I want to know how he did
it. I was sitting in a coffee shop. I work at coffee shops a lot.
Right? Okay, cool.
I don't like the co-working space type of thing. A, because I'm cheap. B, because I don't want to be in an office.
If you want to be in an office, you would have stayed home.
Yeah. So I work at a coffee shop. And the rent at a coffee shop is, a cup of tea or a chocolate frappe. I love my chocolate frappes.
Oh, the frappes. Oh. Yeah.
Anyway, so I'm sitting in the back of the place. I'm at my Mac. I have my iPhone. I don't think it was even plugged in. I think it was just to the side of my computer. And this kid comes over and he comes over and he pushes this in front of my face. So I have an invitation for you.
Oh my God. So your entire view is of this paper.
And guess what was happening below the paper?
Underneath the paper. Wow.
I mean, and then I didn't even realize it till like 30 minutes later when I was like, where's my phone?
And it took him what, 3 seconds? Yeah. 5 seconds?
The phone was not plugged into and maybe it was. I don't think it was even plugged, because typically my phone is plugged into charge. Wasn't plugged. And away it went. Now, luckily I had a backup phone. I was in the Philippines. I have a team there. So They brought me another phone. But by the time I figured it out, we tracked where the phone was. It was like I was never going to see it again.
No, no,
But
you're
I
not
had
supposed
to admire the balls of this kid. And
Yes. I mean, it makes me want to know like his thieving empire. Like
right,
that was just he's a baby at this point, right?
yeah,
Can you
yeah,
imagine the heist he's pulling off nowadays?
yeah. I
Oh my
mean,
God.
all I could think was like, good job,
Yeah, kid. Like
good job.
you're gonna get it. You did it. You did it.
I was angry, but I thought about good job. And
Yeah.
then my mom and I were in where were we? Was it Lisbon? No, Barcelona. And we travel a lot of places together. Anyway, she's getting on a bus to leave to go back to the States. And I
Okay.
was going to stay in Spain for a little while longer. And we were going to shoot a farewell video. We're doing a lot of stuff for Mom and Ken show.
Oh my
So
God.
we put all of our stuff behind us that we wouldn't have in front of us while we're shooting camera, and our camera bag was right behind us. And
No.
I thought to myself, I said, this is not a smart idea, but
Yeah.
what the fuck.
Busy. Got your other stuff. Yeah.
But we're shooting this video, and this guy comes over to us and said, "Is that your camera bag over there?"
Oh
And,
no.
and we got it back. I have it even. I have it on video.
Did
I checked
you?
out the guy, grabbed the thing.
Oh
Yeah,
wow.
got it back.
That's probably super rare. Like
Yeah.
you getting that bag back.
But here's the point. Number one, listen to yourself. When something goes on, and don't be an idiot shooting video with stuff behind you. Put it in front of you, dummy. You
Yeah.
know, just
Or like put it on your
common,
back or something.
common sense stuff, which
Yeah.
needs to be discussed. People need to learn that
Yeah.
because common sense is not typically common. And we all do stupid shit. And so, yes, having something stolen. So my iPhone was stolen in Medellin, and I was not happy because I just had the phone. Someone like sprayed shaving cream into the crowd, and then I'm like taking the shaving cream off my face. And of course, that was when the phone went.
Wow.
And had
Even
it,
that.
yeah, it was pretty creative.
Great.
I'm
Very
like,
creative.
I'm like, really? And it was anyway. So I'm walking back to the hotel and I'm miserable. And I'm like, when's the next flight out of here? Now, mind you, Medellin has a crime rate. We reported about this in the newsletter, the crime rate of Medellin is less than that of Houston, Texas.
Oh,
Okay.
so super rare that this sort of thing would even be happening.
Well, petty
Well,
stuff like
yeah, yeah, Petty's different, right? Yeah, Petty's
it happens every week, and it's going to happen in Times Square. It's going to happen.
sure,
It's life. And if
sure.
you're stupid enough to do, I had it in my front pocket, which I thought was safe, but apparently not.
Yeah.
Hold on. I now bought, where the fuck is it? Come on. I thought I had it in here. I did. It is in here somewhere. Nope. Yes, I got it. I bought, I bought,
I am dying to see what this is.
I bought a chain. So it
Oh,
goes around me and the phone clips in.
yes.
So like, no fucking way are you taking my phone now,
Nope.
bitch.
No
Right.
fucking way. You're gonna
So,
have to really be up in my face with a piece of paper
yeah.
and I don't know.
This thing is, this ain't going anywhere. So I went and bought that.
Nice.
But anyway, so there was a point to this. What the hell was the point to this?
It was the like for people who wanted to get started. Any
Yeah, yeah.
advice? Just get your ass on an airplane.
So plan on spending some time at a place because the idea about Medellin, so the phone gets stolen, and I'm thinking about how do I get
And
out of
you get
here?
out.
And I realized this is stupid. I can't leave. This too will pass. And when it did, I had a great time. Just we were off to a rough start, but we had a great time. But spending a couple of weeks in one place will allow you to get to know the person at the coffee shop. It'll allow you to know where things are, and you'll get to, when you start to explore. I wanted to go to some kind of farmer's market or something on a Sunday morning, and I ended up taking a moto Uber. Uber has motorbikes too.
Amazing.
Oh, it's cool and really
And
inexpensive.
like it sounds quite scary, but
Oh,
also amazing.
when you do motorbikes in Asia, this is nothing.
No,
So,
right.
and this was a real motorcycle, not just a scooter. But anyway, we get to the place where there's supposed to be the thing, and there's nothing there. And it's Sunday morning, it's still early, there's no one out. But I'm walking around and I end up somehow in my walk in front of one of these museums with this giant sculpture garden. And I mean, it's incredible. It's
Yeah.
so cool, which would never have happened. I would never even have thought to go there.
Right.
That's because you stayed. And then I went to a little town called Jardin, Jardin, which means garden, about a 5 hour bus ride. Really cool bus, by the way.
Yeah.
And I end up in this adorable little town that's cute as hell. So, and I had the best burger of my life there.
Oh,
Really, I kid you not. I wrote about it in the newsletter. The pictures.
I like give me a good burger any time. I mean, I'm just like, where is that newsletter where you write
I,
down
I,
numbered your burgers?
I would fly back to
Just
Colombia. Yes.
Amazing.
There was no question I would do that. And the guy that owns, I met the guy, he's a chef. He was in Canada for 10 years, opened up a teeny little restaurant. And
Oh,
it's like
wow.
a boutique restaurant with like 5 tables. And I went in and I was like going through the menu, he goes, have one of my burgers. I'm like, I don't need a burger for God's sakes. I get a burger anywhere. He said,
Right.
try,
Have the
try, you know.
look me in the eyeballs. Have the fucking burger.
Yeah. And the French fries that came with it were miraculous. They were like slivers of potato put together and beyond incredible, absolutely incredible.
Amazing.
Anyway, so travel, go someplace, take a few weeks, stay one place, take an Airbnb for a night or two, no longer than that, because a lot of Airbnbs are crap.
Yeah.
So that way you're not committed to something that's got better pictures, but turns
Terrible.
out not be what you want. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that way you'll get a lay for the lands because the first place I stayed at was a decent neighborhood. It's where everybody goes to. But there's another neighborhood which is better that I learned about on the line at immigration. So the
Oh,
second lesson is
wow.
talk to people. Because
See,
oh,
okay. And you are probably one of the like best, again, Kenergy
ah,
people that I could imagine like being able to just strike up a conversation with literally everyone. What are your hot tips for this? Because I have seen this not only in my generation, but like the younger sweet peoples who like they do not want to pick up the phone. They do
yeah.
not want to talk to strangers. Like, how do you empower them to do that?
No, it's a good question. If you take my mother, number one, because she'll talk to anybody about anything, right?
Mama is gonna be your barrier. There's no barrier to entry.
But because I find a lot of times I will be antisocial in whatever fashion. I really can be. But
Lies.
we're on the immigration line and people are talking to each other and people are sharing what restaurants they've been to, this and that. And I started asking questions.
Yeah. Ask the
And
question.
and everyone's giving me, and actually the saving grace to that iPhone story was people I met on the immigration line literally were walking down the street in my direction and saved my ass and just held me and walked me back to my hotel. It was great. All because I talked to them about
All
immigration.
because we asked
Right.
the questions.
One, yeah.
Wow.
So talk to people and don't be afraid because people want to help you.
Well,
You know,
and they want to talk about themselves too. They want to talk about the places they've been. They want to talk about the places they've eaten. People want to tell you that shit.
you asked me about Colombia, you asked me about this. We've gone for forever on this. I don't know how
Right.
long we allocated for this call, but I guarantee it's longer than what I had planned for. I could go for 7 more hours, which I can't do, by the way.
You're like, no, Kelsey,
I-
literally, like, shut the fuck up.
yeah, yeah,
Stop asking me the
yeah.
question. I gotta go.
Lightning round is stuffing up and lightning. And that's not my fault. When I do my podcast now, I limit it to an hour so that way I can't go on because otherwise it could go on forever.
Otherwise,
So
you just do. You
I
just
book,
do.
I book other appointments, so I can't, right?
Yes. Good for
But
you. You're like, I have boundaries, okay? Boundaries for myself.
yeah, but the biggest thing is really is to talk, is to ask questions. People love to help, and that's one thing to
Yeah.
remember is truly they will. And the fact that you're a foreigner, I had some street food at some shawarma place, and the guy they want to talk to you. They want to
Right.
ask you questions. They're
Right.
curious. And
Yes.
some you're like, I'm just tired, leave me the fuck alone. But they want to know. They
do.
are interested.
Yeah.
And the thing to remember too, not to add any pressure, is that you are a representative of your country, your community,
Yeah.
your tribe, whatever that may be. They are not to be negative, but they're judging you because,
Right.
and that's why I say to a lot of people that as we travel, we create peace because
Mhm.
we create understanding. People that are threatened by the LGBTQ community because they don't know any different, when they see that we're just as shit, not just as, we're more fun than everybody
More
else.
friendly. I was gonna say more friendly, more wonderful, more
Yeah.
kind and inclusive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So when people recognize, oh shit, that's cool. And I travel everywhere wearing a Pride Nomad shirt. I have
Yeah.
multiple branded shirts because I want them to subscribe because I have a QR code in the back. You know,
It's not the fuck off written on the
no,
back
no,
or the
no,
no the like hit record.
scan me, bitch. That's what it is.
I
And so my clothing is all tax deductible. But, it's either now that or my daily hug shirts. We have Alex the Hug
was
Bot
gonna
on.
say, I bet you have one right here.
I do
I am
actually.
dying to see the shirt because I bet it is cute as
I,
fuck.
yeah, wait, is this the Alex? Oh, yeah, there's Alex the Hug Bot. Hold on a minute. Hang on, let me find Alex.
Oh my
Right
gosh.
there.
And do we have like a mascot that is
Here's
Alex?
Alex.
Oh
Here's,
my god, Ken. It's a heart, literally heart walking on
yeah,
a shirt. So
yeah.
cute.
That's Alex the Hugbot. I love him.
Alex the Hugbot.
He's
That
the
is so
Hugbot.
funny. Well, everybody, hit up pridenomad.com, dailyhug.com.
Yes, Alex comes from the Daily Hug. Yeah.
Okay, I am like dying to see the Daily Hug.
Yes, you should get an invitation to, if I did it right, to the Dollar Hug Club, which is a whopping 99 cents a month billed annually, because they hit us for charge every time you do a credit card charge, like 30 cents plus whatever. So it's 11.88 for the year. I love my Dollar Hug Club. I think it's the coolest thing
The
ever.
Dollar Hug Club is like the coolest.
It's the coolest.
Such
Yeah.
like a basic and beautiful idea.
Thank
I
you.